create a larger network with a minimum amount of time. So whether you have, this is your full-time gig and you are in it to win it, or you are just dabbling in it and you're trying to kind of get your feet on the ground and you're not really sure how much time you have to commit, it's going to be something that you can kind of blanket, and no matter what it is, you can do it, so that you can kind of figure out, where do I need to start / go with my business in order for it to not be so hard when it's challenge time and I feel like I don't have people in my group, or I don't have enough prospects. I started with 5 prospects and I ended with 1 challenger. So if you have to start with more prospects sometimes in order to get the number that you want. So if you want 10 challengers in your group, you're going to have to start with 20, 30 prospects. And just knowing that going into it makes the process so much more easy, and it makes it a lot less, I don't want to say depressing, that sounds terrible, but it makes it a lot more realistic, so that you don't set yourself up to feel like you failed, because you didn't. That's just how it goes. That's just the sales process. That's just the gathering process. But if you can kind of eliminate that and maximize it, I think that you will be a lot happier in your business. So I'm going to share my screen so we can get started. Don't mind my 1,000 million windows that I have open in my terrible organization. That's on the list, don't you worry. But I'm all about maximizing time, and that doesn't get me anywhere faster. So organization summation, I'm going to have to just go without it. Okay, so how to create traffic in your business. So first and foremost, you need to be something that's going to get attention. And like, you're probably looking at the first screen and being like, why did she put a pickle on there? That's awkward. But at least you stopped and were like, why did she put a pickle on there? I want to read why she put that pickle there. And so at least it got you to go to the next step. And as we get further in, we're going to talk about kind of a funnel system where you're getting all these prospects and you're funneling them down to where you want them to go. And the first step is getting someone to pay attention to what you're offering, no matter what that might be it a coach opportunity, be it a challenge group, be it a recipe for a food that you want to share, whatever it is. If you can't get that first initial stop for them to look and see what it is that you're doing, it's going to be tough to get that funnel to grow. So that's kind of what we're going to start with, and I'm going to break it down, and again, we'll go as quickly as we can so that if there's questions at the end, we can kind of bounce off of each other and get some good ideas that maybe you're already doing. So step 1, set your personal limits. So some of us have a lot more time to devote to coaching than others. I know for me personally, this is one of 3 jobs. I work a full-time job, a part-time job, I also have a baby, and then I have this job. But this job is really important to me, but it's also something that I just know I don't have a ton of time to spend on it. So I have to really maximize my time, because I want this to be something that can grow and something that I can see become successful. But I also know I have to be realistic. I don't have 10 hours a day to spend on this. I don't have 5 hours a day to spend on this. So I have to be smart about it, organized about it, and really set what those hours and limitations are going to be. So whatever that is, so if you've got 20 hours per week, split that up by 7 days. How many hours is that going to give you? Or if you only have 5 hours a week, split that up between your week and figure out, okay, does that mean I'm getting up 30 minutes before everybody else in my house gets up and I'm going to knock it out really laser focused, and I'm going to spend 30 minutes of my lunch hour doing it, or I'm going to do an hour after everybody goes to bed, I'm going to stay up and really be laser focused for an hour. Whatever's practical for you, but you have to set it. You can't just be like, I'm going to get it done, because it won't. You'll go 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and nothing will happen because you're so overwhelmed and you feel like you're so busy. But we're all busy. We all have stuff. Everybody has stuff. But if this is something that you want to do, you've got to really decide and conquer. You have to make that commitment to yourself, saying every day, Monday through Friday, I'm going to get up 1 hour before everybody else, and I'm going to work on this business. You would be amazed what you can accomplish in 1 hour of like focused time. Sometimes you feel like you're working on your Beachbody business when you're scrolling through your phone and you've got a kid in one hand, or you're in the car with your husband. That's not focused time. You would be better off just focusing half the time than doing sporadic time throughout the day and feeling anxious and stressed and not feeling like you really were able to set yourself and do something that you accomplished throughout the day. So first things first, split your time and commit to it. If you knew that you could not fail, would it motivate you to get up every day 1 hour earlier than you do right now? If you knew that in 6 years you would be a millionaire, would you do it? That's the kind of mindset that you have to do. Because of course it's uncomfortable. I hate mornings, like with a fiery passion. I am not a morning person, but you bet your bottom, I get up at 5 because I know if I don't all day, I'm going to be kicking myself because then I'm anxiously trying to get caught up, and it's just not worth it. I know where I want to be in 6 years. I know where I want to be in 5 years. And so if that means losing 1 hour of sleep, I'm on it. So you just have to decide what's realistic for you. Then you get to the invite funnel. So that's kind of the meat of what we're talking about. So once you've committed and you know, I've got 5 hours to spend, I've got 20 hours to spend, I've got 50 hours to spend, whatever that is, then we start to create, okay, how do we be efficient? How do we be smart about it instead of just kind of throwing things against the wall and hoping they stick? First things first, the bigger that your network is, the bigger that your market is, the more you have to go from. As you're looking at this funnel, you see that it gets smaller and smaller and smaller for the people that actually connect and commit. So if you start with 200 people, let's say you post an invite on your Facebook group and you have 200 friends. So initially you're sending it out to 200 people. Well, of those 200 people, maybe 75 people will actually see it scroll through their news feed. And then of those 75 people that see it, maybe 30 people click on it to read more because it happened to catch their eye. And then of those 30 people, you see how it goes. It goes down and down and down until out of the 200 that you started with, you may end up with 20 or 10. And so you have to know that going in, and just know that your job is to create a larger and larger funnel so that you get more and more solid traffic. And that's kind of what we're going to break down. So first thing in your step 2, you've already decided the time that you commit, what time that's going to be for you so that you're not overwhelmed and anxious. And then you have to figure out, who are you? Who are you as a coach, and what do you want to brand? Because as you're trying to build this funnel and you're trying to grow this network, if you do it without kind of a concept of who you want to be, it's going to go without success, because you're going to have some people who are grabbing onto your post because they like that you put cooking recipes, but then you don't put any more cooking recipes for a month because you just kind of weren't organized in what you were posting. You're going to lose those people. So you've got to brand yourself as who you are. This business is not about sales. So if any of you watched the call on Janelle Summer, that's one of the first things that she said was, this is not for people that are like into sales, because that's not what it is. It's about creating a team around you, and it's about solving problems. So initially, most of the people you encounter, you're solving a problem for them. A health problem, a fitness problem, a motivation problem, just an attitude problem, an emotional problem. You're making them feel better about themselves. And then a lot of those people have the potential to roll over and do what you're doing because they want to pay it forward. So when you're thinking of attracting challengers, think of those people as potential coaches. And who would you want to be surrounded by as potential coaches? People that are like you, people that have the same values as you, have the same concepts of you. For me personally, I want people that are driven. I want people that want to set a goal and they want to do whatever it takes to get there, because they're hardworking, and once they make their mind up, they're going to do whatever it takes, because that's how I am. And so that's how I would best be able to motivate somebody else, because I know what motivates me. So you want to set yourself up to brand so that other people that are coming towards you are just like you, because it's easier for you to get along. You're going to mesh well. It'll be easier for you to train them, and they're going to be easier. They're going to motivate from you easier because they get you. They know what you're about. I'm not going to go heavily into this. We'll kind of talk a little bit about it during next week's call, but branding is so important so that when you are building that funnel, it's a focused funnel. It's not all over the map. You've got to figure out who's your niche market. Who are you talking to? Is it, business women? Is it moms? Is it college students? Who is it that you can help? Who is it that has a problem that you can solve? And pay attention to that problem that you're solving. 70% of people make a decision based upon a problem being solved. So when you think about selling a challenge pack, you're solving a problem. Those people are making the decision because you have done a good job of building value in the fact that you can solve a problem for them, whether that, again, be financial or emotional, health, passion, whatever it is. When people are coming on the coaching opportunity, you're solving a problem for them. They want to get out of their 9 to 5. They want to do something they're passionate about. They want to help people. They want to pay it forward. Whatever it is, it's a problem being solved. And you're creating that value, which makes 70% of the people more likely to jump on board with what you're doing. Next, build your network. So once you've got that brand developed and you know who you are and you feel good about who you are, and if you're struggling with this, again, I know I said this before, but I just can't say it enough. If you feel like you don't know quite yet who you are or who you want your brand is, reach out to your personal coach or reach out to anybody on Team VIP. Let us help, so that you don't want that to be the thing that kind of holds you back or slows you down from getting started. But once it's time to build that network, if you do these things every single day, you will be successful. End of story. Have 3 conversations every day. Not about Beachbody. These are the hey girl messages you've seen kind of us post about in the push groups. This can be commenting on other people's photos, not the same people every day, but new people. So just engaging in conversation. Hey girl, I saw you got a new dog. I have this same kind of dog. Tell me where you got her. Simple. It can be about anything. It can be about their haircut. It can be about the shirt you saw them well. Send them a message. It can be a birthday message. It can be anything at all. Just generating conversation will help you to build more relationships. And then add 3 new friends every day. So look for people that you have in common. Look for mutual friends and scroll through and look for people that you think you're going to have a common interest with. If you're a mom and you see another mom, you already have that common interest. If you're both college students, you have that common interest. Whatever it might be that you see and you see in their profile pic, oh, I think we would bond. I think we would have something there. Immediately create them as a friend. And then keep a running list of those people that you're adding as new friends every day, because those are great people for later on, maybe a week from now. Those are the people you send them a message and say, hey girl, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. I just saw that you also do XYZ, and I'm looking to connect with like-minded people. Have an awesome day. It can be anything, just generating conversation. If you did this every single day, that's over 2,000 prospects that you would have in just 1 year. And you could easily knock this out in less than an hour a day if you were laser focused. That's 2,000 people every single year that you have the opportunity to come in contact with and potentially change your life. That's a lot, because those personal connections have a much better closing ratio than just a general post online. So think about that too. Sometimes we're not quite comfortable posting 3 to 5 times a day. If you're not there yet, then you need to be doing more than 3 every single day, because you just got to do a little more work on the back end to be successful. And you will be. Then the other way that I want you to focus on creating that network and building that funnel is creating a freemium. So something, it can be a group, it can be anything, but a Facebook group tends to be the easiest, because that's how you run your challenge groups. And so it kind of prepares people for what you might be doing in the future. But the goal of a freemium is just to put a free core product in order to later sell them a premium product. So you're putting a free and a premium together. The goal of your freemium is to build trust. So when they go through this freemium, whatever it might be, it can be Lisa, I saw that you were doing Dave Ramsey's financial something, whatever it was. I was literally in the car when I saw it, and I told Caleb, I was like, we need to do this, because it's just something that, it speaks to so many people. You could easily do a 3-day sneak peek into Money Makeover. And it has nothing to do whatsoever with technical health and fitness, but financial health is just as much a part of being healthy as being fit is. And so reaching out to people in something that you feel strong in will help build trust with your market, and it'll help you feel confident, because everyone enjoys something for free. So you can post about anything, whatever it is that you feel confident in. If you are great at meal prepping, do a 3-day sneak peek to how to be a professional meal prepper. If you are great at making new recipes, do 3 days, 3 new recipes, and you pop a little video of you putting together a recipe every day in a Facebook group. It can be absolutely anything. If you're a crafter, show someone how to do craft. The holidays are about to come up. 3 days on how to create a teacher craft gift for little to no money. It can be absolutely anything. But the purpose, gain more people in your network, build trust, and build value in what you say. Because if people will trust you for any reason whatsoever, they're going to trust you when you ask them to come into a challenge group and spend money on themselves. That's where that nurtured leads comes in. 47% more likely to make a larger purchase with you if they already trust you, if they already see value in you as a coach. So that's something that's huge to think about. But when you're doing it, sometimes it can be becoming overwhelming. I don't know what to do it on. Ask your personally sponsored coach, or just do something, anything that you already feel comfortable with. And again, if you need help, we're here to help. Try to align it with what your brand is, whatever that might be. Again, if you're good at cooking, do cooking. If you're good at crafting, do crafting. If you're good at organization, do organization. It doesn't matter. The goal is that you do it, you create it, you build trust, and it leads later to the coaching opportunity and potential challengers. And that's who we're trying to reach. Maximizing your freemium. This is going to give you an email list of people. So you should have a running prospect list of people that have either showed interest in the doing a challenge pack or coaching, but didn't quite say yes yet. They're still on your prospect list. Anybody that participates in a freemium, at the end of the freemium, you're going to end with an invite, whether that's an invite to the coaching opportunity. Like Lisa, if you did a financial sneak peek or a financial freemium of some kind, inviting to the coaching opportunity after that would be genius, because it's a way for them to pull an extra income. So it would tie in beautifully. But then let's say they say, oh, not right now, or I'm busy. It's still a prospect for you later that you can reach out to email. So you don't want it to ever be a waste.
Why does she have so many kids at her house?
There's a ghost coming in.
Had a friend over, and I think there was like somebody else over.
Candace, you want to push mute on your bottom left? Okay. That's okay. You're good. Perfect. So you want to end your freemium with an invite, and then you also want to make sure, no matter what your freemium is, that you have them create a free Team Beachbody account with you as their coach. So this gives them access to Beachbody for a full month. And again, no matter what your freemium is, they can take advantage of workouts, recipes, the whole 9 yards, and it already sets them up as you as their coach. So the first step of them kind of getting rolling is already happened. It's a huge stepping stone. It seems super simple, but it makes a world of difference. Fortune is in the follow-up. So with your freemium, creates all of these opportunities to follow up. But there's other ways to look at it too. So anytime you put in an invite post, be it for your freemium or a coach opportunity call or just a challenge group call, they're 9 times more likely to convert if you respond to them in the first 5 minutes. So I know we've kind of chatted about this a little bit, but it's so key. People, when they're excited, they are excited right then. So even if you don't have time to go through the whole conversation with them about what a challenge group is or what the coaching opportunity is, respond within the first 5 minutes for those that are interested, and let them know, hey, I'm going to get back to you in the morning. I'm so excited. Can't wait. I'll send you the details at 9 o'clock. So that they can stay engaged, they can stay excited. If not, you're going to lose that heat, and it's going to be harder to regain that momentum and to regain that sense of excitement. So that is huge. For people that are current challengers, ask them for referrals, because that's going to build your funnel. That's going to expand your network. 91% of people would give a referral if you ask them. And I know sometimes we get so caught up in the next challenge group, we forget about the challenges that we currently have and the opportunities that they've already succeeded in, that they would be more than willing to tell their friends about and send more traffic to you, or convince them that, hey, you're doing such a great job of referring, you should become a coach with me. So don't lose the opportunity that happens with the people that you're currently helping. And then to increase your post engagement, I see this a lot. Some people will put a great post up and people will comment on it, and then you don't do anything. If people comment on your post, use that as an opportunity. Comment back. Say, hey, thanks so much for whatever they said, doesn't matter. Or ask them a question in return. It ups the number of times people see your post. It raises the engagement on that post. And then it shows people that you want to engage with them. You want to have conversations, because then you can have a conversation on that post. Maybe it leads to a personal message that leads to an opportunity. So be ready to engage. If someone likes your thing or they comment and say, oh, hey, I love it. That's such a great idea. Didn't think of doing a recipe that way. Respond back to it so that other people see you engage. That's so, so, so important. And then the biggest thing I think that we as a team are struggling with, myself included, it's okay to fail. It's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you jump out your first month and it's super hard. Sometimes you jump out your first month and it's like you got people coming at you all over the place, and then your second month is super hard. So just know wherever you are at is okay. There's going to be months when you look back and you're going to be honest with yourself and say, I didn't give 100%. I didn't post as well as I should have. I know I didn't engage or invite 3 people every single day. And that's okay. But just know that this is all about the compound effect. And the compound effect, it just does not fail. It works every time in every business. Even if it's not business, if it's just in life, it works. But you just have to make that commitment that we talked about in the very beginning. You have to commit and decide, this is what I want. I want to change lives. I want to be successful in changing lives. I want to help other people be successful in changing lives. And if that's the mindset that you have, it's going to happen. It just will. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It might not happen overnight. There may be days when you're like, I'm over this. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. But that's just simply not true. I keep thinking, when I think that to myself, I keep thinking of the top 10 coaches. All of them are so different. Like some of them are heavy. Some of them are skinny. Some of them are stay-at-home moms. Some of them are from the professional world and have been working like crazy banshees all their life. They're so different. Every single person can become a coach and be amazingly successful. The only difference is if you decide to do it or you don't, because it's just hard, because there's nobody that's going to be in your bed at 5 a.m. saying, you need to get up, you need to work. No one's going to be mad at you if you don't post 5 times a day. No one's going to call you out and be like, you didn't do your business this month. There's nobody to do that. There is no boss, because you are the boss. But the bottom line is, if you want to do this, you can do this. And that's it. You just have to know that deep down, and you will get there, because the compound effect, it really, really doesn't fail. So I want to give you something to give you some perspective of what you're looking at. So this is from 2012. So this is just, you can kind of read over it and look. I won't go through it in detail, but just the different rankings. And again, ranked does not determine your success, but it's kind of a good benchmark, especially when you're not really sure what you're looking at. But looking at, excuse me, the numbers get me so choked up, what with the $1 million and all. But when you're looking at it, you can see the lowest amount made, because you may be, as a diamond coach, you can make $1,200. And as an emerald coach, you can make $261,000, because the rank doesn't determine it. It's your amount of effort. It's that compound effect. It's that decision that you made to keep going. But you can look and see what you could potentially be looking at, because this is an average. This is not like one superstar came out and made this. This is an average of what the coaches are making when they hit those ranks, because they're following that compound effect. So you can look and say, where do I want to be? And then you back up. How much time do I have to devote every week? Because I know in a year I want to be here, or I know in 6 months I want to be here. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to commit to this. And then you break it down per week, and that breaks it down per day. And so then you're looking at, all right, that means I got to post 3 to 5 times a day. I got to reach out to 3 people every day, and I'm going to make it happen without fail for 1 year. Give yourself that 1 year to commit. And if it doesn't work, bail out. But just make sure that you give yourself enough effort to look back and say, you know what, I spent at least an hour every single day focused on this business, pushing forward. And then maybe as momentum builds, you're able to spend 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And maybe you're not. But if you commit and do every single day, you will see a change. And that is without a doubt. So I just want to leave you with this concept and I'll open it up to questions and any ideas that you have or things that have been working for you. The one thing that I hear the most is, I think I'm just not quite ready yet. I feel like I don't quite know enough yet. I think that if I just focused on doing my challenge groups and then I'll add coaches, I think it would be better for me. I hear a ton of those things, and wherever you want to be, whether you want to be making $1 million next year, or you want to be half that, it doesn't matter. Just own wherever you're at and be willing to put in that effort. Just don't let yourself fall into the trap of saying, ooh, I just don't feel like I know enough yet. Because the only way to learn is to jump in. The only way to do it, the only way to learn the things that you don't know, is to have a team underneath you that's going to force you to learn it. And that's the honest truth, because you learn by teaching. And when you have a coach underneath you that asks you a question, you bet your bottom you're going to figure out the answer. And that's just how it goes. But if you don't have that team underneath you that's asking you those questions, it's easy for you to take a back seat. So if I can encourage you to build a team for any other reason, it's to keep pushing you. because you're not going to want to quit on a team. You're not going to want to let anybody down. It's going to force you to be better. It's going to force you to push. So whether that be a team of challengers every single month or your team of coaches that you're building from those challenge groups, just know that there is no right time. There is no such thing as, you know what, I feel like in a year I'm really going to have the time to devote on this, because you're not. Life gets in the way. Raquel and I were talking the other day, and she was talking about, you know, what if I just went back to like life as usual, just like my normal 9 to 5, you know, what would happen? And I'm like, well, you'd probably be very unhappy, because even though you're crazy stressed out and you're all over the place, you know that you're headed towards something better. Whereas I don't remember who it was that said this, but you can spend 30 years in a career going absolutely nowhere and working so hard for someone else. But if you were to commit to this 100%, in 5 or 6 years, you could be retired. You could retire your spouse. Like, there's so much potential. It's limitless. And to have that opportunity is sometimes so overwhelming that you end up not doing anything at all. And that's what I don't want that to happen to any of us, because it's hard, because you don't have that immediate boss barking at you, telling you to do what you need to do. So what I would encourage is, if you're in it to win it, reach out to your personally sponsored coach or whoever your success partner is, and you say, listen, I'm in it to win it. When I get lazy, you push me. When I start to fall off the wagon, you tell me to get it together. Because if you've got that person to hold you accountable, you will go farther. Whoever that person is, your personally sponsored coach, your spouse, your success partner, it doesn't matter. But you have to make that commitment and say, listen, person, you're my person. You're my person who's going to keep me going. If you see me go a day without posting, you slap me. You slap me silly. And that's what's going to help us all be successful as a team. So next week, we're going to go further with this funnel call. So I'm going to open it up for questions, and that way we can all also witness the eclipse that is. But I'm going to open it up for questions. But next week, we're going to go through, how do you take, okay, I want to build my network. I'm kind of figuring out who my brand is, what I want to do, who I want to represent myself as. But now how do I take it that next step? So how to make sure that your posts are eye-catching, because people are 60% more likely to stop on a post that has an eye-catching picture than if it were just text, or if it was a picture that wasn't exciting, something that didn't catch my attention, wasn't something off the normal newsfeed, because we are visual people. Humans are visual. We like to have things that stimulate our brains. And then just going through, how do you prepare your post so that it aligns with your brand, so that you feel confident that what you're putting out is creating the persona and reaching out to the people that you want to reach. So we're going to cover that in detail so that we can try to help in any way that we possibly can, because I know that's the hardest part for people, is what to post, what to put out there. You don't want to come across as icky, but it's a whole different concept than just talking about social media in general. So we're going to break down just the post portion, but it's geared towards building that network and building that funnel. Okay, questions? Okay. All right, everyone go see the eclipse. Just kidding. No questions? Comments, concerns?
How should I go about asking for referrals? Like,
So when you have a current challenger, and depending on if you send it in an email or you like reach out, give them a phone call, if you could do like an exit challenge phone call, hey, tell me about your experience. You know, is this something that you would refer to your friends? And then they'll tell you, you know, no, it wasn't. You were kind of a terrible coach. Or they're going to say that, no, it helped me so much. I learned so much. I did X, Y, Z, and say, you know, if you have anybody in mind, I'm running a challenge group this next month, and I would so appreciate if you would just reach out and let anybody know, because I'm just so eager to help as many people as I can.
okay.
Lisa, and to comment on that, I did it to 2 other challenge groups. And so during my invite week, I would post a picture, and I'd give, if a person gave me a referral and they actually signed up, I sent them 3 or 5 servings of Shakeology.
Okay.
So it was just super simple. I went back to all my old challenge groups too, because it was like Jessica was talking about, you have a good month and you have a bad month. It was kind of like, okay, I don't know why no one's really engaging in my invite. And so I was kind of desperate. And so I just went off and I was like, I'm going to offer free stuff if people sign up. and 2 people signed up that way. So it was good.
Yeah, that's a perfect idea. I did that with I had the same thing happen. I went through, like, literally on my online office, I went through all my past customers, and I just shot them an email and was like, hey, I'm doing this referral like contest, and the people that give me the person with the most referral that sign up, I'm gonna buy them X. And I got, like, I think I got 2 or 3 challengers and a coach.
So I did a contest, and then it was good, but I didn't really get that many people participating, so I went a more casual approach. When I'm in about the 3rd week of my challenge group, I just text them on a Sunday, all my challengers, like, hey, you know, how's it going? We have about 1 week left, and wait for them to answer. And then I'm like, you know, has anyone been asking you about it? Have you been liking the shakes? You know, what's going on? Like, just asking them a bunch of questions, like, yeah, you know, a few people, and just, you can just throw it out casually. Well, you know, if you have anyone that wants to join my next challenge, let me know. It's a lot easier when you have people that you know that are in it also. I know this round you didn't know that many people, so just let me know. Just have them friend me on Facebook. You can give me my number, and totally cool. So you can go very casual and informal too.
Cool.
So that's kind of what I started doing now, because I did the contest and it just got, like, exhausting trying to keep up with it, and I don't know. So I just went more casual and just saying, like, yeah, you know, just ask them. Have people been asking you about it? They'll tell you. They'll be like, no, not really. I just been doing it. Then you're like, okay, this isn't someone that's going to do referrals.
Cool. Thanks.
You know? Yeah.
Good to know.
Any other questions?
No, I loved it, Jessica. I thought it was great. The only thing I was going to say that made me laugh, like, you're never ready. And I think back to Janelle Summers, because she's obviously the highest paid ever earning Beachbody coach. She's just so good, and she just gets it. I highly encourage y'all to watch that video if you haven't yet. But at Beachbody Summit, one thing that she said that I feel like really stuck out to me, maybe she said it or maybe it's Instagram, I don't know, I stalk her, but basically she said, how did I get my success? And she said, I bit off more than I could chew and just kept chewing. And I'm like, yes, that just makes sense. Like, yes, you know, that's just our life. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be busy in some other aspect, and you never are ready. And I think back to when I thought about coaching like 2 years ago, or even further than that, if I'm being very honest, and I was too busy to do it. I couldn't do it. I had too much, there was no way. So instead I wait until I have 3 kids and I'm working multiple jobs, and then I decide, yes, let's do it then. So you're never really ready. You just gotta keep going. I love that. I felt like that really stood out to me.
Mm-hmm. So what I'd really like for us to do is develop what you want to do as your freemium. So freemiums they're no brainer. Just do it, because the worst thing that could happen is you give somebody something of value for free. Like, that is the worst thing that could happen. So develop what you want your freemium to be this week, and send that to your personally sponsored coach, so that you can start to work out the details, and you can start to develop, you know, what your invite looks like. Because if for no other reason, you're going to gain a ton of traffic for people that are just like, yeah, it's free, I want to do it, I don't care what it is. Oh, it's you know, how to cut up a t-shirt and make it look cute, I'm in. People will do whatever, and then you have their attention, and then you showcase your fabulous, amazing personality, and then they're like, boom, whatever this person is doing, I'm in it to win it, because I trust them and I like them and they connect with me, and then you got them, and then they become part of your network, where, like I said earlier, there's 47% more likely to make a large purchase. So every time you have somebody that says, ooh, I would do it, but it's kind of expensive, you won't have that, because they trust you. They know that whatever you're doing is valuable, and they know that you wouldn't steer them wrong. So they're not gonna object. They're gonna know that if this girl says that's what I need, that's what I need. And you won't have those objections anymore. I mean, you'll have them, but they won't happen as often. So that's what I want the goal to be. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jen.
I have an app challenge starting tomorrow if y'all want to join.
Freemium.
On my fitness page, I did it to promote having a fitness page, getting people to like it and invite people. So y'all should do it. You'll get an idea of one. I'm just making it up. I don't know. It'll be fun. We'll see.
Actually, one of my the people in my Facebook or in my challenge group, he's already a coach, a Beachbody coach that I worked with a long time ago, and he just wanted to join the challenge group for accountability. And we've talked about doing a yoga thing.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anything that will there's so many things you could do. Organization, there's just so many things you could do. Fashion, makeup, those are things I know nothing about, but I'm sure some of you do.
You're very fashionable, Jessica.
It's so pure accident. Okay, good. So any other questions, comments, or concerns before we end? We also have, as I just interrupt you before you even have the opportunity. So we have in our push groups, you'll see if you're still in your push groups, we'll be posting some motivational videos, kind of like the one I found on Janelle today, just because, and I said this before too, but success leaves clues. And so follow these people because she says things that I'm like, you are my homegirl. Like she was working all these crazy jobs and she was working all these crazy hours and she was like business lady minded. And I'm like, that is me. I am a worker bee. I love to work, but I want to feel passionate about it, and I want to be doing the very best thing I could possibly be doing. And so I just speak to her a lot. So find somebody that speaks to you in that sense that you feel like, man, I get that person and I connect with that person, and then figure out what they're doing and watch it. But you'll be seeing those in the push group. But we also developed a checklist. I know we have a bazillion checklists going on, but we created a Team VIP checklist. We'll post it in the Team VIP tomorrow morning. And it's just, if you knock out these things every single day and you make yourself do it every single day, and this is something you could do in literally an hour. If you have more than that, cool. If you don't, you could make it happen in an hour minus your workout. You will be successful. So sometimes if you just, and I like in my planner, I write it all down and I check mark it off, because if I don't have a check mark to check off, I don't feel successful. And if I've already done it, I will write it down and check it off, because that's how much I need to check things off. But whatever system works for you to get it done, it'll make you be successful. So that helps too. Okay, anything else before we exit? To see the
eclipse.
Yeah. It's not going to be back for 20 years, so please go outside.
I won't be able to see it because trees are in the way, so enjoy it for me.
I will. All right, you have a wonderful day, my friends.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.